What's going on there, guys? We're back with another one, and we got Stephen A. Smith speaking about the LeBron James incident again, but this time he's responding to D. Wade and Melo when they were on the podcast together, and they were talking about the situation. D. Wade texts with Stephen A. afterwards. Carmelo still maintains a relationship with Stephen A. Smith, but Melo's saying that him and LeBron don't have a relationship, and this has been brewing for a while under the surface, and that's kind of the part that Stephen A. Smith wanted to lean into, saying that this whole Bronny thing is overblown. These are grievances that LeBron personally has with Stephen A. Smith. And remember in my other videos, I was saying that it isn't just this. Now, people came in here, they called me a LeBron hater and saying I got energy. I should screenshot they comment and put it up here on the video so you could see who it was. But I was simply saying that just seemed like it didn't come from there. And Carmelo Anthony, who has known LeBron way back since high school, is saying the same thing. So I just want to know, am I still a hater with Melo saying the same thing? We're going to get into this clip and react to it, guys. Let's peep.
Dual sides once again. I think you understand both sides if you're that person who wants to understand both sides. I told him, as a father, I'm walking up on you.
Right.
I get it. Cause I'm like that too. Like I'm at you.
Of course.
But also, what I told him, I said, and I think we've never seen LeBron do that. Like we've never seen, like LeBron don't even go back at players that foul him too hard on the court. We've never seen him be like, he's always been just even keel and level headed in every aspect. And sometimes you want him to jump. Sometimes you want him to go and he won't. And so to watch the clip and watch him on that bench and see Stephen A. over there, he couldn't take it. He couldn't take it.
I mean,
he could not stand it.
They got the memo. Yo, Stephen A. He coming tonight. He coming to the game tonight.
He knew it because he saw him in warm up when he walked in. You know what I mean? But it was burning him. But I told him, I said, Stephen A., I think the one thing is, and first of all, I take it as that's a sign of respect that LeBron did that to you.
Yeah.
I know
he knows the power of Stephen A.'s voice.
He understands that. And I told him, I said, and that's the thing. Your microphone is the loudest. Your platform is the biggest. And also you're a black man.
Yeah.
And I said, so you got to understand, where he's coming from with that. If he even approached you, because yes, the Skip Bayless of the world and all these guys have said things about him his entire career and he's been above it.
There is a fine line of I am a father, but you can't separate the fact that he is your teammate as well. You get what I'm saying? And he's in this league to be critiqued. I just think this has been a build up. We're talking 22 years. Like, this ain't got nothing to do with Bronny. It's just the fact that Bronny is a part of the conversation now, and he also got to protect his seed. You get what I'm saying? You got to protect the kingdom, no matter how old it is. Like, he's Bronny. That's my dad. So Bron got to protect that. But there's also energy with those two and those crews. It's just as from over the years of just build up. This ain't no love relationship that we talk. This ain't no love friendship that we talk about.
They don't have a friendship,
right? So this is it is what it is in a sense, right? This just Stephen A. doing what he's supposed to do over the years. Bron doing what he's doing over the years, and this is what happens. Some shit might get misconstrued. I might not like what you say. I might not with you. I ain't gonna deal with you. But the fact that I think the energy is because we dealing with two juggernauts in their respective fields, right? Bron being who he is, Stephen A. being who he is. A lot of people don't know that history between those two. The only thing people know is what Stephen A. may say or what he may not say. Bron has never spoken on any situation with Stephen A. So if I'm sitting there for 20 plus years and I'm just taking all of this information, all the shit that you've said to me is about me over the years, now my son is the trigger.
I'm going to drop the mic on all of this right now, once and for all. We going to put this shit to bed.
Now, I want to add to that without taking all of the video from their podcast. Another thing D-Wade said was that LeBron did put a little gas on it when he said that his son is better than a lot of the players that he's watching on League Pass. And again, people call me a hater in the comment section. I'm just highlighting what people said. Now, Dwayne Wade has said it. Is he a hater too? Is Carmelo a hater? I'm really just calling it like I see it, man, and talking about this. LeBron will get props from me when he needs it, but I'm just analyzing this situation, man. Let's continue with this breakdown.
Like Melo said, it's been stewing for years. See, what I've gotten pissed about with this particular subject is that too many people are not touching on the truth. Melo and D Wade did. Me and LeBron don't have a relationship. LeBron don't mess with me and I don't mess with him. I respect the hell out of him. He's number 2 on the list all time. And I didn't always feel this way about him. There are times I didn't like how he treated black media. I'm not talking about myself because I'm on a certain level and I watched how others got treated and I didn't like that. But it didn't take away from his unquestionable greatness. But me and LeBron, we don't roll like that. High and by. He ain't have much use for me and I damn sure don't have much use for him. And that shit was cemented when he did what he did the other day because you rolled up on me knowing that I wouldn't have a chance to respond unless I was willing to make a scene, which was at courtside while the national televisions were rolling on the day that my new contract had been announced to the world. But it doesn't stop me from being fair. It's not going to stop me from doing my job. My issue, which is why I appreciated where Melo went, because Melo put it where the goats can get it. We don't have that kind of relationship. So what the hell you use your son for? I'm shitting on your son. That's not true. Bronny James, that is not true. To the James family and all your close confidants and loved ones, that is not true. I have video, documentation with me refusing to cover Bronny, never watching him out of respect for the family. You want me? Draft my son. It ain't even about the money at this point. I want to play in the league with my son for the year. You did that. That was LeBron James. That was not Stephen A. Smith. I did not do that. So when he came up to me claiming, you shitting on my son, you shitting on my son, I didn't know what he was talking about because I'm the one person who didn't until January 29th. And even then, I don't believe I did it. I pointed out how his start was very, very bad, but his performance in the G League was good. Let him go there and get himself better because you, as the dad, put him in this microscopic spotlight. And you're going to subject him to stuff that is going to be too much.
Now, Stephen A. Smith goes on to say that he was invited on the shop back in the day, and he had one condition that needed to be met, for him to agree to it, and he said he didn't hear back. Now, listen to this.
Melo's right. This wasn't about Bronny. This was an excuse that LeBron was looking for to get at me, which, by the way, would not have been a problem. We could have met in the back. We could have had a man-to-man conversation where I had an opportunity to respond and point to him about what he did to put his son in this microscopic spotlight that I personally have tried to avoid for 3 years. But he didn't give me that opportunity. Just like he didn't give me the opportunity when The Shop was on HBO and Mav came up to me and Rich came up to me and they said, yo, we want you on The Shop. Hell yeah, we want you on The Shop. With LeBron, it'll be box office. I said, name the time and place I show up. I only got one condition. Nothing gets edited out. Nothing. Let me go. He's so right. He's so righteous. Let's do it. His show, not mine. Don't come on First Take. I ain't helping his ratings. Don't come on his YouTube show, his podcast. Nah, I ain't helping his numbers. I'll come on your show. We know it'll help numbers. At the very least, we know I could do that. Nobody was hiding. Crickets. Never heard from them since. And I know that ain't their fault. Because I know Mav will put me on in a heartbeat. Rich Paul and the rest of the crew. All of them. In a heartbeat. I'd show up by my damn self. Or I'd show up with my own boys. And we could all bring facts to the table. But I was never taken up on that offer. You see, I don't run and hide. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. I was never shitting on Bronny James. I wouldn't do that to the James family. I was talking about one person and one person only. We may never speak in life again. I'm fine with it.
Now, Stephen A. Smith and LeBron, man, I remember even a few years back, LeBron stopped and had some words with Stephen A. Smith in L.A. And I ain't talking about like no issue. You know, he was just greeting him, saying what's up to him. We saw that clip where he came up before him and Perk kind of fell out. He gave Perk a big hug. Malika Andrews leaned up and kissed him. He greeted everybody and then just kind of gave Stephen A. Smith a pat, which that's cool. Like, if you really don't mess with somebody, you ain't got to show them the same amount of love. I ain't holding LeBron to that standard. And also, one could say, I know Stephen A. saying they could have went in the back, right? They could have had a discussion. But LeBron, sometimes it's best that people don't come at you with the same energy. Maybe LeBron felt like he had to get that out, but maybe if Stephen A. would have said the wrong thing, he might have felt like he couldn't control what his actions would be next. And sometimes it's like that with people, because if you say something to somebody and they say something back that you don't need to hear and you feel like they're in the wrong, it could go to that next level. And maybe that was LeBron's train of thought. Let me get it out in front of everybody because I know I ain't going to go but so far. But also, you know, some people saying he was trying to embarrass Stephen A. Smith, and you know, Stephen A. Smith had just signed that contract. He couldn't do or say but so much. He knew the cameras was on him and probably wanted to get him a little bit out of character. That's what some people saying. But hey, I think, you know, they probably won't speak ever again in life. You see a lot of people, and I ain't just saying LeBron James. You know, Michael Jordan, we got to be 100 about all of it. Michael Jordan is extra sensitive to Charles Barkley because Charles Barkley was talking about how bad he was doing with the Hornets. And I'm a Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time person, but we got to call it down the middle. Michael Jordan is being extra sensitive with Barkley. You won't doing a good job with the Hornets. So you still not talking to him, and I liken that, you know, even though Stephen A. Smith isn't a former player, he has a powerful voice in media, which is what Barkley was doing, exercising his right to speak about Jordan as a owner, you know, at that time. And so Stephen A. Smith, he has a loud microphone, and you know, he was talking about LeBron, and he said, you know, as a father, I'm pleading with you. LeBron is probably saying that was on a public platform. I'm going to blindside you publicly like you did me. Maybe that's his train of thought, you know, going up there to address Stephen A. Smith in that instance. But I'll say this, you know, hopefully, man, at the end of the day, you know, they could just walk away and keep respect for each other. You ain't got to deal with people you ain't want to deal with. I think it'll be nice, though, if they were able to have a sit down. Stephen A. got his own platform. LeBron got his own platform. Even if he, you know, has to come to the shop, maybe Stephen A. can bend his rules a little bit. Something could be edited out. But I know now why Stephen A. Smith said that, because there were underlying tensions between the two. And so he didn't want his words minced when on a podcast with LeBron, because he didn't know if everything was kosher across the board. LeBron probably was like, nah, you know, why is he trying to come to my platform and make demands? No, thank you. And you don't get the LeBron appearance on your platform like that. He do his media obligations to the NBA, and he'll show up. You know, he did that thing with JJ Redick, but again, that was under his umbrella. You know, that was under his own entity, you know. And so LeBron, he'll do his own thing, but as much as Shannon Sharp, Draymond Green has rolled for him, and Draymond was about to cry when him and JJ started that podcast. He complaining online and all that. But yeah, man, but LeBron ain't gonna really do your podcast like that. Not at this stage. I mean, he would even his boy Cups. He do his. Before he did a lot of people. Because a lot of times, from the standpoint of those people, sometimes I know people say they keep it real, raw, and rugged. But when you got a brand, you don't want no messiness online, and especially if they own the content. Like, think about it like that. LeBron is very selective about who owns what he's gonna say out of his mouth, and it ain't. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. People can just take this clip and run with what you said on their platform, and if you don't like it, it's that whole thing. Well, this ain't what we agreed to when you came on, and so it's my content. And going through all that, somebody who is as careful about their brand as LeBron is, he ain't just gonna show up on anybody. So he invited Stephen A. Maybe they could sit down one day. I think at the bottom of all this is not that serious. Not what we can see on the surface. Now the things that Melo and Wade is talking about behind the scenes, now that could be a little more serious than we're giving it credit for. So I don't want to over speak, but I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.